Yo, what is good, YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys, and we have some more breaking news, notes, highlights, observations from another day here in Houston for Texans training camp. In this video, I kind of want to break down some guys who look good, some guys who are improving, some guys who missed practice with the injury, and overall what to expect over the next few days of training camp heading into another preseason game here with CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. However, before we jump into the video, do me a quick little favor, guys, and smash the like button just so we can get this video out to more Texans fans around the world. But also subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the entirety of the offseason, signings, trades, preseason, regular season, training camp, everything you can think of. I've got you guys covered, as well as streaming some games. I'm going to be streaming some Texans games throughout the year, so if you want to watch some Texans games with me throughout the season, join the family. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the main thing the first thing I want to talk about, I should say, is some guys who missed practice. Now, Laramie Tunsil, Malik Collins, Will Anderson got a day off, John Mechie, Charlie Heck, Hassan Ridgeway, Case Keenum, Titus Howard, Christian Kirksey, Brevin Jordan, Dalton Keene, Brandon Hill, and Thomas Booker were all out of practice, some due to injury and some due to getting a day off, a veteran day off, or just Will Anderson, the guy who is so young and so good, and I guess they are fine with what they're seeing out of him, so they're like, you know what, take a day off. We want to make sure you're ready to go for the start of the season. So they gave him a day off, so he didn't really play too much. But once again, CJ Stroud came out and took the majority of the first team reps, pretty much exclusively. He was the first team quarterback. And as of right now, it seems like he's going to be the day one starter for them. However, his first preseason game wasn't the best, through an interception to Jalen Mills early on in the game, but that's okay. He's got to have, he's got to get to the next play, move on to the next one, and improve from there. I think he'll be okay. A lot of rookie quarterbacks actually threw interceptions during their first game, so I think he'll be okay. I think, CJ Stroud actually had a pretty solid day. He had a couple of nice passes to Robert Woods in the end zone. He just a nice curl route to Nico Collins, who beat Shaq Griffin. But he did have one play where he, threw a pick to, I believe, Steven Nelson early in practice. Then from there, he kind of jumped up and kind of progressed and had a better practice overall after that play had happened. So that was something to note. Steven Sims is a guy who, wasn't really amazing throughout the first couple of weeks of camp, but is really starting to pick it up here over the last few days. He caught both of his targets in his preseason game for 17 yards, but he's continued to stack up good days, continue to improve, and that's something you want to see out of Steven Sims, a guy who is starting to really make some plays, really starting to ooh the crowd a little bit, at practice. So we'll see if he continues to develop. We saw, some guys who are, taking a return job. Desmond King, Tank Dell, John Mechie, Alex Bachman, all were taking some reps at kick returner. So I feel like that job is pretty much still up in the air at the time being. The first team offensive line looks like Michael Dieter, Kenyon Green, Drew Scruggs, Shaq Mason, and then George Fant. Obviously, a couple of guys did miss practice, Laramie Tunsil, and I believe Titus Howard missed practice as well, so that is why Michael Dieter and George Fant started for the most part. Now, moving on to another thing, was the first team offensive line unit was amazing in terms of run blocking. I mean, Devin Singletary was looking really, really good, and that is all thanks to the offensive line just being so good. I mean, they just looked very good in terms of run blocking. Damon Pierce had some great runs as well. I feel like the offensive line was just really good today, or really good during practice, and I think they're just continuing to build some chemistry together alongside that offensive line. And if they continue to improve, this could be one of the most lethal offensive lines in all of football, especially when they're at full strength, full health. I think they're already very underrated, so we'll see how they continue to improve over the next couple of days here before the next preseason game. But right now, I think the offensive line is a major bright spot here for the Texans, something that we didn't really think was going to be amazing, but they got the depth, they got the guys who can come in and just make big time plays. So I think that it is a good thing for them. And then Tank Dell has been, just Tank Dell. I mean, he's been good, man. He's been getting open, making great catches from Davis Mills, from CJ Stroud, mixing with the ones, mixing with the twos. I mean, he's doing everything that he can to make sure that he's going to be a productive wide receiver at the NFL level. And so far, so good, I believe, for him. I don't know. I feel like he might be the quarterback's best friend right now in terms of CJ Stroud. we'll see what happens over the next couple of days and how their second preseason game goes. But I could definitely see Tank Dell coming in here and being a day one starter, or he might force someone to get traded like a Robert Woods at some point. I feel like Tank Dell is so good to have him not be a starter. And by week 8, I would say he's going to be a starter. If not, I would be kind of surprised. I would be kind of surprised if he's not a day one starter, especially when you have CJ Stroud at quarterback. They're building chemistry like that. They're really really tight. So I do feel like Tank Dell will become a starter. You also have Xavier Hutchinson, who is looking pretty good at practice. I don't think he'll be a day one starter by any means, but he's starting to look good. You got a big frame, can go up and catch almost any ball, so I expect to see a pretty good season out of him as a rookie. But overall, I think this team's really good, man. You got the defense looking really good. DeMeco Ryans a defensive-minded head coach, so I feel like he's going to make this defense really, really good. But overall, I'm excited to see the next couple of days here at practice and then the next preseason game and how CJ Stroud does versus another team. But with that being said, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.